So to finish out our public health course in program planning, I'll be taking a critical look at the pre-seed-proceed model as a tool in public health program development. So the objectives for this presentation are: 1 is looking at the strengths and weaknesses of the pre-seed-proceed model. 2, looking at kind of lessons learned in the case study that we completed for Wilcox County. What worked well, what were the challenges, and how did we overcome the challenges? And finally, what would I do differently if I were able to do it again? So I'll start with an overview of the pre-seed-proceed model. I've attached the Wilcox County pre-seed-proceed model that I created for my case study. As you can see, there's a total of 8 phases, starting with 4 phases of pre-seed and ending with 8 phases of proceed. So the idea is that you work through a problem that the community is facing, identifying that problem, understanding it on several different levels, from behavioral and environmental to educational, ecological, and administrative, and then creating an intervention based on that. And then working through phase 7 and 8 to evaluate it based on what you initially found was the problem in the community. So moving into objective 1 with the strengths and weaknesses is that, obviously, as seen above, the pre-seed-proceed model provides a very good structure for program planning based on the actual community need. It's based extensively on data and analysis of community needs, and then the evaluation process is centered around those community objectives established in pre-seed. So as you kind of work through the model, you're seeing not only how you're going to implement an intervention, but then evaluate it based on that problem you initially found. So the weaknesses are, however, that it is an extensive process needing several resources and time. So looking at all of those different assessments in all the different areas does take extensive resources. It also has a lack of direction for analysis of the longevity of the program and intervention development. So as a good program planner for public health, these would be things that you would have to draw on your own experience and knowledge to kind of create those, looking at the sustainability of the program as well as actually the development of interventions based on kind of previous experience. So moving into the case study for the Wilcox County Diabetic Management Program, we'll look at Objective 2 and what worked well. So working through pre-seed offered insight into how the intervention should be grounded as well as how it would be evaluated once established. So PPM seems to be a relatively cyclical model that allows for adjustment and a look at, again, where did we start in the community and what was the problems and how can we intervene and then evaluate, and then you can return back to that pre-seed portion to continue that sustainability of that program. So PPM also offers that framework that can be worked through in sections, which is ultimately integrate with each other. So we saw that we worked through each section week by week, and at the end we were able to kind of put together an overall intervention looking at every aspect of a program. It also integrates evaluation to a program, which is definitely a key to sustainability and success. So what were the challenges? So the challenges were definitely, for myself, was program intervention development and deciding on SMART objectives based on a structured program, and then resources, so reviewing plans for longevity and sustainability of the program. Overcoming these challenges was really just using past knowledge and experience from work and other nonprofit organizations that I've worked for. The last objective, number 3, is what would we do better, and what if I had the ability to kind of redo it again. So I think that reviewing other diabetic management programs that have been successful may have offered some better insight into potentially different interventions that could have worked for Wilcox County program. Also engaging the stakeholders more in the intervention process, trying to figure out really who are the key stakeholders and how we can engage them for overall sustainability of the project, and then identifying more community resources. Again, all working back to how do we get this pilot program started, but also how do we continue its success. So anyways, thank you so much for your time.